All right, so welcome in. I am going live. Oops. All right, so I am live. Welcome in. Got some people joining. Welcome in. All right, so yeah, if you guys are ever struggling, that's what I'm here for. Please shoot me a text, send me an email, send Morse code. I don't care how you reach me, but reach me because that's what I'm here to help you through. You could do this thing by yourself, but it's so much easier if you have me or somebody in your corner helping you, guide you along the way. And if anybody's having any reactions to the supplements or the cleanse or something's not right, you just don't feel like something's right, we'll figure it out together. I may take out some certain supplements or eliminate or cut down or cut in half certain supplements. If that's the case, we might have to eliminate everything. But I just don't want you guys to feel like you're flying in the dark by yourself. Reach out to me, set up a one-on-one, and we'll work through that together. Obviously, if you would like to share, if you have a struggle or something that you don't mind sharing with the group, that's what these group calls are for as well. You can, if you're having a thing, you can bring that thing to the group and the group can help you too. There's a lot of times we get graduates join the groups and a lot of people that have been through the program and some of them a year ago or more. So there's a lot of wisdom in the groups if you want to bring it that way. But if it's a private matter, by all means, book your one-on-one call or send me a text or an email and we can work it out in some sort of form or fashion. So with that being said, does anybody have any questions or anything out of the gate?
I do have a question.
Wonderful.
So I had my last call and I'm almost done in 2 days. Now, if I did have any questions, is it a year that we have for the Zoom call? Does this end, say, the Zoom calls and the Facebook page, all that? How do we move?
Great question. That is a fabulous question. So the first 3 months, you do get your one-on-one coachings. You
Mhm.
get 4 total, 3 coaching calls, and then the one at the end for transition, how to reintroduce the gray area foods, what supplements I might recommend for you at the end, and any other questions about transitioning into, regular life, so to speak. But you get 3 months of that. So if you don't use all of your coaching calls in that 3 months, then you do lose those. So by all means, you guys book your time with me and use them. In fact, if you've used them all and you're still struggling and you're still in that 3 months, book a 5th one. I'm not going to cry or charge you extra. I want to make sure you feel supported and safe. Once that 3 months is done and you've got your 12 weeks under your belt, and it starts from your first day of your start date. So if you signed up yesterday and you start next month, your first date is that start date when you start next month. But you can join these group calls for the next 9 months. Well, actually forever, as far as I know. I'm not even sure about that. If you want to keep joining these calls, I'm happy to have you here. So there's that. But if you have questions, you can bring them to the Facebook group or you can bring them to the private group, the drinfantino.club. And you can bring questions there and I can answer them for you there. So that's pretty much it. Does that answer your question?
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome. And I appreciate you joining these calls all the time. And you're graduated now, right? You're all the way done, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I have 2 more days. Today's the last detox day and then 2 days of veggies and then I'm done.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So good for you. And you've done great. So, and I think Darcy is like 10 pounds under her goal, her weight loss goal. Weight loss, I don't think was your main thing, but
Not at all, no.
but you did very well. So congratulations to you on
Thank
that. Awesome. We've got Rhonda joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. All right, so this week I'm talking about kitchen hacks, snack and meal ideas, um, all of that sort of stuff. So what I'm going to go over today, I'm going to go over some tools that you'll need to make your life super easy and make your meal prep go really, 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 really fast. And I did a deep dive on that on Monday. So if you missed it, if you're really struggling with meal prep, please check Monday's call, because I did a demo with, it only took me a minute to cut up an onion. That'll all make sense if you see Monday's call. I'll go over that a little bit today, but the deep dive was on Monday. Yesterday I went over the must-haves. I'll do a little bit of that today. I'm also going to go over, I'm also going to make lunch. I'm going to make a cilantro lime with shrimp over pasta. So yes, that's what I said. That's not a typo or a oopsie. I said pasta, but that'll all make sense in a few short minutes as well. So with that, I will go ahead and get started with some tools that you'll need. One of which is an ice cube tray, and I use that to put all kinds of things in. You can put your fresh herbs in it, and then maybe a little bit of olive oil or avocado oil. If I do pumpkin, like pureed pumpkin, this is really good if you're missing your fall, pumpkin frappuccino things or pumpkin bread. This is really good, but I'm not going to use the whole can. So I will freeze that, and then I will have those in the freezer for when I want to throw a couple of those in the blender with my protein shake. For my coconut milk, I'm not always going to use a whole can of coconut milk. I'm going to put that in here too. So these come in super, super handy. And once you freeze them, put them in a baggie so that they don't taste like the freezer. You definitely want a little waffle maker. Our protein pancake or waffle, this is an individual size. It's just 1 scoop of your vanilla protein or any flavor you want, I guess. And 1 egg and a pinch of salt. And that would make 2 of these little waffles. But that's a fun snack or breakfast. And you can put your, what did I do with it? You can put your Kerrygold butter and your Lakanto syrup on that as well. You're definitely going to want a NutriBullet. I'm going to use this today for today's sauce, so you'll see how that works. As far as now in today's sauce, I'm going to make a cilantro lime sauce, and I used this to squeeze the lime. I've already squeezed it. But if you're trying to make your lemonade drink for the cleanse, I'm going to recommend this over this. This was good for the limes that I needed for today's lunch, but this made it faster for the lemonade drink. So just so you know. So there's that. This is probably my best friend in the kitchen right here. This is the mandolin. This is what I demoed on Monday. This makes my life so much easier. They're not expensive. They're easy to clean. They clean easy in the dishwasher. You can chop your onions, carrots, zucchini. I actually shred my zucchini, bell peppers, mushrooms, garlic. You can just chop so many of this stuff. And I chop it and I put it in the freezer. And now when I do a meal prep day, when I have a meal prep day, all of my stuff is already chopped. I just grab a cup or a handful or whatever I'm going to do. So you definitely want to get yourself a mandolin, and it has other pieces for slicing, for shredding. I make my zucchini shredded. So make like shredded zucchinis. I keep that in the freezer too. So in a stir fry in a pinch, I always have something that I can have. Right. And it's already cut. It takes me zero time. Zero. How many? Zero. I do encourage a popsicle maker, but not this one. And I say not this one because when I make this one, I usually use my new protein shake for this. And you can add some coconut cream or avocado to make it thicker and creamier. That makes it really good. Makes it really good, actually. But when I freeze it in these things, it ends up tasting like the freezer. So I would recommend the kind that are more cylinder type, and you put the stick in the top and it has a lid. And that way it doesn't taste as much like the freezer. If I remember, I can pop these out and wrap them so they don't taste so bad, but anyway. Also, you will need a large cutting board. You want the largest one you can get. I have a bunch of small ones, and I feel like when I'm doing meal prep, it's just not big enough. So I would encourage a larger one. And you want to go with wood on those as well. So it's, oh, and then my total immersion blender. That's this guy. I make my pureed cauliflower, like mashed potatoes with this. I puree my yams with this. I make salad dressings with this because it came with this. It has that little blade at the bottom. You can chop nuts with this. This is going to be real important. I even used Lily's dark chocolate chips, and I was experimenting with my popsicles, and I just put the dark chocolate chips in here, and it kind of chopped them really finer. So it was like mini chips, like you would find in a chocolate chip ice cream, like shredded. Really a great way to jazz up your popsicles. And then you definitely want containers. Like I said, just start. If you have just these plastic ones, that's perfectly fine for now. At least you have something to build to put your meal prep stuff in. However, that being said, I highly, highly, highly recommend you graduate to the glass dishes. These are all different sizes, if you guys can tell. These are just the lids, but there's different sizes in here. But they're glass, it's going to be better. The chemicals in the plastic tends to leach into the food, especially if you want to put that in the microwave or you're putting hot food in it. When you put hot food and plastic together, that's where the problems start to arise. That's why we don't even really don't encourage even drinking out of water bottles. Even though it might be cold, we don't know if it's been sitting in the sun at a warehouse somewhere or in some parking lot somewhere.
Yeah.
That is not going to be good for your body. So those are some list of must-haves, or not must-haves, tools for your kitchen. Oh, and also my roommate Debbie has, I don't know if y'all can see that, there's a almond milk or a nut milk maker. And so she makes her own nut milk. Because if you look at the ingredients on most of the nut milks, almond milk, cashew milk, what's the other one? Almond, cashew, whatever nut you're wanting to use, you can make a nut butter, but with your own clean ingredients. There's a lot of ingredients on some of the stuff out there in the market. And so it's a lot cheaper because she doesn't use that many nuts, and she sets it up and she turns it on and she walks away. So that's a nice tool. And there's also, I recommend an ice cream maker, and we're going to learn more about that tomorrow. So be sure to tune in for tomorrow because life is too short not to have ice cream or similar tastes or textures of that nature. So we'll be experimenting with that tomorrow. So those are some things that I recommend you have. Oh, one more thing I forgot. I have these silicone bags because it's better than the plastic. Well, the benefit to these is that they fit better and easier in your freezer. So if I'm meal prepping, and I also have this little doohickey right here, and you can go on, get it on Amazon. So it holds it open, and you can buy several at a time. I have like 3 of them. So when I have the bags, it holds it open for me. So if I'm scooping my chili, for example, I scoop it and some of it I freeze, and some of it I'll have for my lunch or for my dinner, for my meal prep for this week. But I'm going to freeze some of it because after a few days, I'm going to get sick of the chili and I'll be done with it. But in 2 weeks from now, I'll be real excited to pull my chili out of the freezer. And now I have a meal that I don't even have to prepare. All I have to do is warm it up. So you always want to keep that in rotation. When you meal prep, make some for you for this week or the next few days, and then put some in the freezer. And that way each week you can have something from 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ago. And you can also have something that you just made fresh. Another benefit to this little doohickey, I'm not sure what I call it, but meal prep tools or something like that, you'll find it. When I wash this bag, I use it as a drying aid. It helps me dry it so it doesn't stick together. And I just wash the bag and I set it on the counter and it dries just like that. So this is a really handy thing to have. Plus, you can reuse this so you don't have to spend extra money, keep buying more freezer bags with all that plastic. So those are some tools that I think are important. I'm going to go over some must-haves. And when I say must-haves, I said this yesterday and I kind of cracked myself up. I didn't I didn't plan to say it, but when I say must-haves, I'm talking about like when you are running out of toilet paper, for example, or even toothpaste, you don't wait till the last square of that toilet paper is completely gone to then go, oh, maybe I better put it on my shopping list. No, you're down to your last roll or two. That's when you put it on your actual shopping list because you know you're not even going to go shopping for the next 2 or 3 or 4 days. So when I say must haves, you're never ever going to run out of this list. So grab your pen. If you guys don't have a pen, grab one. And that is your frozen vegetables, lots of frozen vegetables. Now, with my little mandolin, on Monday we made diced onions. There's always diced celery. There's diced carrots. There's diced bell peppers in there that I made. Plus, I buy it sometimes already pre-cut. If you want to save time, you don't want to do the mandolin, you don't want to cut up your stuff. Always have pre-cut up frozen vegetables in your freezer. And I will have broccoli in there. I'll have mixed vegetables in there. And that way I always have a vegetable. If the vegetables I had in the fridge either went bad or I ran out or someone else in the household ate it, whatever the case is, I always have a vegetable because when I'm putting my food together, it's protein and veggies. As long as I have a protein and veggies, I cook it in a fat, I'm pretty much golden. That's pretty much a complete meal. And speaking of frozen veggies, this should be a staple. This is a staple in my house. Obviously we want to go organic when possible. I got that at Costco, so that's why it's so huge. But riced cauliflower has lots of good purposes. You can turn it into a rice. I sometimes will mix my brown rice in with this. So if I put a half a cup of brown rice and then however much of this I want, now I can have a whole plate or a whole bed of rice. And it's it's so satisfying and good. And with my taste buds, for me, I almost don't know the difference that it's a vegetable. And cauliflower adds a lot of nutrition, hardly any calories. A cup is, what is my cup? I just half a cup is 12 calories. So okay, on here it says 1 cup is 20 calories. So they're super low, but high in nutrition. So this is the easy thing. You can also make your cauliflower mashed with those with your submergent blender. I already have it prepared. I'm also putting it in our sauce today, and I'm using it as a thickener. So when I go to blend all this stuff up, it's going to make it thicker without flour or other thickeners. So the cauliflower rice is something you should always have. Then the other side of the coin is the frozen proteins. I always will have, let me see, like I have individual, like this one is a mahi, but it's one piece. This is enough for me. And then if I have my vegetables, I just take this out and I can be eating this in less than an hour. Ground turkey, that's kind of a staple here in the house. I bought both of these from a food company. This is obviously more than a single serving, but this is great for my meal prep. So always having some kind of frozen proteins in your freezer. Because again, if the thing went bad or someone else ate it, or you thought you had some and you forgot you had it for lunch yesterday, always have those in your freezer. That way you're never in a pinch. You're setting yourself up for a win. And again, you don't put that on the list when thing is empty. Those things should be at least one or two proteins in your freezer and a couple of vegetables in your freezer at all times. All right, so what do I want to talk about next? So some of the things in your cabinet, like these are like meal starters, in my opinion. This is the Siete green enchilada sauce. There's a red sauce, that's fine. I like Siete because they don't add soybean oil like the other enchilada sauces. I haven't tried this one yet, but you can throw some chicken in a crock pot and throw this sauce right over it and be done. To walk away and just, as long as you cook the chicken all the way through and it's shredding and it's wonderful. That's a great way to meal prep. You throw in your handful of already cut onions, already cut celery, already cut carrots in there. You've already cut it. It takes no time. So these are really great time savers. You just want to look at your ingredients list to make sure there's no soybean or sugar or other junk in there. Also, you should always have these in the house: canned tuna, wild caught in a pinch, or canned chicken. Canned chicken or canned tuna in a pinch, you always have that. And with the canned chicken, you can always add the Primal Kitchen buffalo sauce or just plain mayonnaise and put it on a celery stick. Those are nice little snacks. Also the marinara sauce, again, throw it over the chicken in the crock pot and you have a meal in just a few hours without a whole lot of effort. Again, I would throw my frozen onions and bell peppers and zucchini in that. Again, it's already done for me. Having an organic bone broth in the house I'm gonna use it today, so you'll see how that works. Avocado is a staple. We always want to have that. This is great for cooking. I love olive oil. It's great for our bodies. It's great for on the skin or to consume it. It's good for your skin. So olive oil is great, but you don't want to use it for high heat cooking. You want to use avocado or coconut oil for high heat cooking. Coconut oil is delicious. I think it's wonderful for cooking yams or sweet potatoes, but the avocado oil has zero flavor. So if you're cooking a chicken or a recipe or eggs or something like that, avocado oil I prefer just because it has no flavor. It just picks up whatever flavors you're adding. So if you're adding your garlic. Speaking of garlic, this is a wonderful, wonderful time saver. And you don't need to go organic on your garlic. Because our garlic is a natural pest repellent. I had a neighbor years ago. She lived up the mountain from me. She used to plant garlic all around her yard to keep the snakes out. But it also repels bugs too. And so they don't need to spray it. So you don't need to spend the extra on organic. And it comes in these little baggies. And I'm just going to throw a few of those in my sauce that we're going to make today. And it's going to blend it up and it's going to make it nice and garlicky. So that's definitely a staple you want to have. Coconut milk, you can, in a pinch. Guys, if you mix these two together, then you have a creamy tomato sauce. It
Ooh.
is bomb. And I do not use a whole can. So that's where my ice cube tray is going to come in handy, because now I'll have frozen coconut milk, throw a couple of cubes in my shake, and now it's extra creamy. Did I mention the pumpkin? Did I go over this one already? This
Yes.
is, I did do this. I did talk about this one already. Anyways, puree pumpkin, there's no sugar added, but there's a lot of fun things you can do with that. That's not a staple, but I just wanted to show, we can put that in your shakes as well. Your pasta, it's skinny. I buy these on Amazon and they come in spaghetti, angel hair, fettuccine, orzo. So whatever you're in the mood for. And you can buy a box, a variety pack. And these are almost calorie-free, carb-free. And they're just made with konjac fiber. So definitely recommend if you're a pasta girl. As far as sweeteners goes, you guys know very much I talk about the Lakanto maple syrup. This is not the one you're going to use during your cleanse. You want 100% pure maple syrup for your cleanse. But any other day, any other day, you can use the maple syrup, because this is no sugar, it's sweetened with monk fruit. So this is a good one. Also, allulose is one of my new favorites. I don't know if you can see that. Allulose is good. It doesn't raise your blood sugars. It's really good. I've been playing with it. I'm going to make some chocolate with it tomorrow. So stay tuned for tomorrow.
Mm.
Tomorrow's dessert day, so
Oh.
don't miss tomorrow.
So what do we use allulose for? Is that a
It's a
sweetener?
sweetener.
Oh, okay.
Yep, sweetener. So here's a sweetener, Lakanto. So
Hmm.
if you guys love the lemonade, the cleanse drink, but it's a regular food day, I don't want you to have maple syrup on a regular food day. So you can still make your lemonade. Just use this instead. Just don't use this on the actual cleanse detox days. Okay. Another sweetener I like it. I know some people don't, is the stevia. Uh, that's what we're using with the ice cream for tomorrow. And what else we get? And then this other one, this is the bomb, you guys. This is so good. It's made by Splenda. So look at your ingredients because Splenda used to be sucralose, which is the chemical one. So look at your ingredients. This one is erythritol, allulose, and molasses, glycerin, and stevia leaf. This is really, really, really super yummy. Unfortunately, I used to be able to tolerate this in my system. Oh, I was losing connection on my Facebook group. But it tends to make me a little bit bloaty. So it's got erythritol in it, which is a sugar alcohol. And so you don't want to, if that bothers you, you're not going to be able to tolerate this. But if you can tolerate this, you can play with this a lot. You can put this in your 90-second bread and make uh, like a coffee cake. So, so yummy. So those are some sweeteners. Your salad dressings, chosen foods. I like to save these glass jars so when I make my own salad dressing, um, it's easy. These are little in size, which I like, but they're glass, which is really important. Again, we don't want to use the plastic, but if they're glass, save it and then you can reuse the bottle. I just put it in the dishwasher and it washes up real nice. And as far as drinks go, here's my Ticino. It comes in a couple of ways. It comes in like tea bags, or you can buy the grounds. It comes in grounds. You can put it in your coffee maker and just make that. And then I add a little bit of stevia, or I've been adding allulose to mine, and I'm enjoying that. This one is an amaretto, but Ticino has lots and lots of flavors. So go to their website, teeccino.com. And there's lots of condition specific. So if you want to boost your brain or boost your immune system or gut health or whatever, there's different condition specific or just flavors. So they have chocolate mint, they have vanilla nut, they have maple pecan, they have this amaretto one. So dig into that and enjoy. Naturally caffeine-free herbal teas. This is peppermint. Peppermint never had caffeine in it. So that makes a nice variety from water. You can make it an iced tea as well, obviously. Some other drinks, LaCroix or Waterloo. There's all kinds of different flavors. Long as there's no added colors or added sugars or other artificial sweeteners. But you pour this over a glass and they're pretty clear. And then last but not least, one of my favorites is Zevia. This one is a cream soda. You guys can see that.
Yeah, okay.
But this is really sweet, like a soda would be, but it's clear, so they don't have added colors. They don't have it, and it's all just stevia and carbonated water. It does have natural flavors. I'd love to hear what Bobby Parrish would say about that, but for all intents and purposes, it's pretty clean. And if your sweet tooth is calling you, and I know some of you that are on this call today have a sweet tooth, so you definitely want to show up tomorrow. So those are, these are the should haves. your must-haves are, your frozen vegetables and your frozen proteins. And, you're cooking your avocado oil. You should always have this in the house. There's plenty of things we can make with that. So
Can I
with
make a
that,
suggestion?
yes.
I know you said cooking with coconut oil, you get the flavor. I use this brand and there's no flavor whatsoever. Uh,
Oh, wonderful.
I don't know if you could see it. Wait, my thumb is in the way. Hold on.
So
It's Carrington
it's called Carrington and it's coconut oil.
unflavored.
Organic coconut oil, unflavored. So yeah, you guys, if you can find that, and coconut oil is good for you. So
Mhm.
definitely consider that. All right, so let me set myself up here. I'm gonna make a lunch. I just turned my stove on. Hold on one second. Am I gonna be able to do this? Oh, right. Awesome. Pull the shrimp out. All right, so what I'm gonna do, so the recipe is, if you guys want to write this down, there's a choice. So the first ingredient is um, either quarter cup of avocado oil or a quarter cup of bone broth. That is going to significantly make your calorie counts really, really different. So how I do that, so if you guys come across a recipe that doesn't have the calories attached to it, what you're going to do is you're going to add up all of the different ones. So a quarter cup of avocado oil is about 500 calories. Quarter cup of the bone broth is about 30. So you can see it's a big difference. I'm going to do a little bit of both. So I'm going to do like 2 tablespoons of both. See how we do. A handful of cilantro. So now for me, rather than pulling out a knife and a cutting board, I'm just going to pull this out here, my cilantro here, and I'm just going to cut it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm just going to use my kitchen scissors and cut it into the container. This is for my NutriBullet. Let me get some more. Kind of messy. Now the cauliflower is already in here and the lime juice is already in here. Cauliflower is super nutritious. It's a good source of fiber. It's a good source of vitamin C, which is good for your skin and your immune system. It's a good source of it's a cruciferous vegetable, which is anti-cancer. So I just put basically a handful. I'm not measuring any of that. I don't measure very much, hardly ever. I just sort of wing it, but if you're new at cooking and you feel more comfortable measuring, of course, by all means do that. So I have that. I'm gonna guesstimate just because. A little bit of avocado oil. I would go less than a quarter cup if you're gonna mix your bone broth. Bone broth is good too. It's really, really, really good for leaky gut. It's good for your immune system. It's good for your skin, your hair, your nails. The avocado oil is great for your brain, great for your heart. It's a anti-inflammatory. So there's health benefits to all of that sort of stuff. And I'm just gonna finish that off. All right, anything else? So we got avocado oil, handful of, oh, the garlic. Where's my garlic? I already have my garlic from my peeled garlic. I have one of those bags already open. So I'm just gonna throw a few of those garlic cloves in there. Now I did the juicing of the lime already before class started, so to speak, just to save a little bit of time, so you guys don't have to watch all of that. So the juice of 2 limes, salt and pepper, cauliflower's already in there. So salt and pepper. Oh, and what I did extra, this was just me being me. I threw in probably a fourth of a jalapeno just for fun.
Mm.
Jalapenos and all peppers, those are a high good source of vitamin C and vitamin A. So, and as you know, jalapenos are going to add a kick. So there's that. Oh, how am I going to show you guys? Well, first, let me just blend this up. So all of that, the cauliflower, the garlic, the cilantro, they're all going to be blended. So it's going to be like a smooth sauce. Make sure that lid's on nice and tight. Now I made this on Sunday. I made it with chicken. So today I'm making it with shrimp. Get this out of the way. And the sauce really did thicken in the refrigerator. Uh, I think because of the cauliflower. The cauliflower is just a bit of a thickener, but this is not so watery because I added the cauliflower. So I use cauliflower as a thickener a lot of the times too. So I'm going to, how can I bring you guys over? I'm just gonna, I guess, throw it in the pan. I have the pan preheated just because I have an electric stove and it takes forever. Now, while that's warming up, and it really doesn't need cooking, garlic you can eat raw. All of those things you can eat raw. So I'm going to pull this out and drain it while that's cooking. I just want it to get to the point where it's simmer. All right, I will bring this over.
I'm gonna get your drink. Debbie.
So at the moment, I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, you guys can't see that. So I'm just going to stir this up. I'm going to put it back on the stove so it gets nice and warm. You guys can see that. It's very green. So for me, I like to see green. Anything green is going to be good for us because it's going to have a chlorophyll in it. Guess what? Chlorophyll is a good body detoxifier and it's the body's internal deodorant. Cilantro, on the other hand, I'm going to put it back on the stove. This way we get it back up to, I'm going to get it up to simmering. I just wanted to demo this, how fast it really is. Once it starts to simmer, I'm going to throw my shrimp in there and then I'm going to put the lid on and then I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes and that will cook. But cilantro, in addition to being full of chlorophyll and, detoxifying the body, it also helps the body rid itself of heavy metals. So if you eat a lot of tuna that's known for high mercury amounts or, things with aluminum or other heavy metals, you can cilantro. Now, I also know that a lot of people don't like cilantro. So if you don't like cilantro, you can do the same exact recipe, switch it out for basil. Now, basil is not known for getting the body rid of um, heavy metals, but it is also got full of chlorophyll. So it is going to detoxify the body. And I love basil. I put fresh basil on my salads. I'm cooking with it a lot. So I just buy these little things and keep watering it. All right. So it looks like my sauce is simmering. Everything is warm. I know you guys can't see me, so I'm going to get my shrimp in there. All right, so I put the shrimp in. Hopefully you guys can see this. It's not cooked yet. Where's that better? I don't want to dump it all over my computer. So you guys can see that, hopefully. All right, so now I'm going to put the lid on it. I turned the stove off. I'm going to let it just sit there. Last time I did that and I talked to the group and it cooked perfectly. It cooked really perfectly. So you can put that, you can have that with the pasta. If you don't want the pasta, you could have it more like a stew. You could put it over your cauliflower rice, make your bed of rice, especially if you add your brown rice to it, you have a nice bed of rice. So if you don't have the noodles, you can do it on a bed of rice as well. So there is that. Does anybody have any questions or concerns or thoughts? Any wins this week? I know some of you are just getting started. I've got people graduating and people just getting started, and some people right in the middle. So, what are your guys' favorite? Does anybody have a favorite dish that they made or learned to make while being on the program?
Ooh, yes.
Mm.
The stir fry cabbage.
Who said that?
Jane,
Oh, that's stir fry cabbage. That sounds wonderful. What's in it?
it's in the book. It's in the recipes.
Is it in there? Okay, wonderful.
It's 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and 1 head of cabbage. I threw in a full onion because I love onion in everything I do. So I saute the onion first in the coconut oil and then I stir fry the cabbage and it was great. Day 2, because it's 2 servings and it's only 95 calories for that. But then I made the chicken sausage recipe in the book.
I love that.
It's so good. And I crumbled that in with the cabbage when I reheated it, and it is to die for delicious.
Oh, that's a good
Oh, I
idea.
haven't made that yet.
It, I was like, I looked at it and I go, yeah, right, I'm gonna like that. But I was desperate on veggie day, to get more veggies in and I did it. And well, 3 heads of cabbage later, it's like become a staple.
And cabbage is a cruciferous vegetable too, which also means it's like they're super cruciferous is broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, kale, Brussels sprouts. I believe arugula is in that group. And those are known for really helping prevent cancers. So I know that cruciferous, they're also known for making us real gassy. So
Yes,
you can get that past that part. I encourage you to try to get those in your body at least once, if not several times every week.
yeah,
And vegetables are so low in calories, but the broccoli and cauliflower are good sources of vitamin C, good source of vitamin A, good sources of minerals like calcium. So super, super, super good. Let me check on my food here. Awesome. Awesome. Also, this looks like like Parmesan cheese would look nice on that. I'll show it to you when it's not quite done. But if you wanted a Parmesan cheese substitute, you can use nutritional yeast. And that is actually got some health benefits as well. It's a high in vitamin B's, which controls your nervous system, which helps your nervous system. So we definitely want to keep that going. Also helps your body metabolize fat more efficiently. So we definitely want to have things that are high in vitamin B. Anybody else have a favorite recipe?
I love the chicken sausage. So good.
I'm gonna have to try that. I haven't tried that one.
Mhm.
I should do
Then,
it as a demo on these.
yeah.
it's
Instead of
so
making
good.
up new ones. I don't know. I always trying to make these kitchen hacks it's just different because you guys know I do a PowerPoint with all the other topics. But
Mhm.
because I want you guys to see the different things that I use and show you the tools that I use and all the stuff. Um, uh, I just do it a little bit differently. So I don't have my PowerPoint to kind of direct me, but I want different foods and different recipes each time I do this. So hopefully every time you show up, you get a new nugget, so to speak, hopefully. All right, so I think it looks like it should be pretty well done. Let me see if I can.
Oh, that looks good.
Yes, I wish, and the garlic, I wish you guys could smell that. Oh boy, I'm cooking Debbie lunch today, so you guys can see that. It's nice and hot. Awesome.
Are those noodles soggy? Or they?
They are already cooked.
Mhm.
They're already cooked. So it's like they're squishy. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay.
They're already cooked in the bag,
Yeah.
but they're
Mhm.
in a liquid. So just now I just drained it. You might want to rinse it, but for time's sake, I just drained it and poured it in the pan.
Okay.
Some people said, "Oh, you got to rinse it." If you feel better rinsing it, rinse it. I was just on a time crunch. I don't want to sit here and take too many steps, but yeah, these are so, and they don't have any flavor. So if you're making a marinara or like an Alfredo with a cream sauce with your coconut milk,
Mhm.
or you're making like this green sauce that I just made, um, it was great on there. It just picks up those flavors. So you can make it whatever. If you're just doing lemon butter and garlic even, that would work. And just throw some seafood on there, some scallops and shrimp or whatever.
Sounds good.
Does anybody have any other questions?
Good.
Well, let me go ahead and taste this just to make sure. You guys. Okay. So, drum roll. I should cut that shrimp. I'm Italian, so I have to do it the little twirl it with on my spoon. That's just how I was raised. Oh, ooh, I added jalapenos.
It's
Oh
good.
man, that is so good. I wish you guys could taste this. I really wish. Some people might not like that. There was a kick, and I only added this much of a jalapeno. It's got a kick, which I happen to like it. So yay for me, but it came out really good. And it was really super, super, super fast. So again, if you wanted to make that sauce in advance and then
Mm.
freeze it, and then you know you're making a piece of plain chicken or plain fish or shrimp or whatever, you pull these out and warm it up, and now you have basically a gourmet meal.
Oh.
Just make sure when you freeze these and put them in a freezer bag, label it so you know, because I have some green ice cubes in there. I don't know what I did. I don't know if it was a green smoothie that's sweet, or if it's a green sauce like this that's more savory that I would put over a piece of chicken or a piece of fish. So do yourself a favor. If you learn nothing else, label your freezer stuff. Oh my gosh, that was so good. They got to twirl it. Does anybody have any other questions? Oh, so the way I figured out the calories. If I did all avocado oil, the whole thing comes out to 773 calories. I'm going to say that's probably 4 servings. So you would just take 773 divided by 4, and that's your calories. Now, if I just use only the bone broth and no avocado oil, the whole thing is 312. These noodles are like nothing, and I didn't count the noodles, but the noodles are like 5 calories. So that's not a big deal. Yeah, so you can, if you're trying to get your calories up, use the avocado oil. It's an anti-inflammatory anyway, so use it. If you have too many calories going on, use the bone broth and just thicken it with your cauliflower and you're good to go. So,
All right.
anybody else? Comments, questions, thoughts? Oh, there's a chat. Sorry, guys. Got carried away. Do you write the recipes out and mail them to you? No, I do not. But I do. But what I do is I will type it out and I put it in the group. drinfantino.club, and then go into the, and then in this on the left there's a section that says recipes, and then go there. And that's where you're going to find the recipes. Also, there's recipes in the book. I don't know what page they start on, but it's right after the meal examples. The meal examples I know starts on page 57. So after the meal examples, there's probably 100 recipes in there. And page 87 is vegetable only ones. So if you guys are struggling with what to do on vegetable day, go to page 87. Actually, or 88. 87 has some vegetable soup ideas. So there's things you can have on veggie days there as well. But I think it's 87 or 88, veggie only or veggie recipes for veggie only days. So that's it, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for participating. I would love to serve you some lunch right now, but I guess I'm going to go eat one.
Go enjoy.
Thank you. You
Thanks.
guys have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.